All right, we're live.
Coming from New Jersey, right?
I know, like, where are we?
Where are we today?
We are in Morristown, New Jersey, which I had never heard of, and my husband lives in New Jersey, and he's never even heard of Morristown.
That's crazy.
So we're in Morristown at the Once Upon a Time Con, and we are here with Michael Coleman, who you know as Happy.
Hi.
Thank you for
Hello.
Hello.
Hello, we're pouring some wine here, and we have a little bit of a special wine. It's probably the most expensive bottle of wine we've had on this podcast so far. It's our 7 Deadly Sins. Oh, it's a Zinfandel. Interesting.
Nice. I like this.
It's because it's like the single white female sort of drink. My mom always orders this. Although she's not that single. All right, I'll put this over here so it's not
Don't
in
knock it
anybody's.
over.
I probably will. All right.
All right. Cheers.
Cheers, everyone.
Cheers.
Cheers.
To happiness.
Happy.
Yes.
Mm. Oh, I got some cork in there. Sorry. That was my problem.
Oh.
Having a nice red wine on this very hot day. It's
Very
humid.
humid.
But you were coming from Vancouver, where it's
Yes.
what's the weather there now?
Hot but less wet. Hot and dry.
Hot and dry.
It's nice.
Right, now, are you from Vancouver originally?
I am. Born and raised in Vancouver, yeah.
Wow.
Native. I'm native.
And your family is still there?
We are still there. We, not unlike any professional actor, we live wherever the work is at the time. But fortunately, I've lived in Vancouver for 25 years and the work's been there for 25 years, so.
Is your wife in the business too?
No, she's definitely not. She is, and I don't say that she's lovely, but not. She's an awful actor. She'll be the first to say that. But she's lovely in every other way.
Does she like to come with you to the cons? Does she ever come with
Yeah,
you?
normally they do. I got a wife and 2 little kids, and they come to a lot. And sometimes I give away 2 signings when I do it. My 4-year-old does one, and I do one.
Aw,
She
that's
usually
really
just
cute.
scribbles
That's
on
cool.
my face. But yeah, 2 for the price of 1.
That's great.
That's really sweet. So they've been doing a lot more once conventions, it seems like, this year with Creation.
Yeah,
stepping on
Creation.
board.
Yeah, they've done the official licensing, so I think this is the test year, and it's going well. Everybody's been really
Yeah.
super cool. So the fans have come out and supported it like crazy. So
Does that get exhausting for you?
never,
No?
no.
Yeah.
It's an interesting way to spend the off season, and the only reason any of us have any jobs whatsoever is because
Right.
people
Right,
watch
yeah,
it.
absolutely.
So I will always have all the time in the world for anybody who ever wants to say, hey, neat show.
Yeah.
Let's go talk about it. So yeah, I've got all the time in the world for that.
So we forgot what we usually do
Right.
on this, because this is our
All right.
this is a
No, it's
special
all good.
podcast.
Very
'cause we're-
special.
The season has wrapped, so usually we meet every Sunday evening and drink and talk about
Yeah.
the episode and
Yeah.
life in Hollywood,
Yeah.
that sort of thing.
Filmmaking and all that
And we
jazz.
always have a word of the day that
Okay.
we'll drink to. I think con should be our word today.
I like it because that's my last name.
Yes.
No, but also because we're at a con. Yes.
Okay, so every time we say the word
Con.
you take a drink.
All right.
All right,
Like
so
savvy.
let's just
Irish.
test it out. Make
Okay.
sure it's working. All right, so congrats on another
Yes.
Once Upon a Time con.
Cheers.
Thank you. Cheers.
You can take a big healthy sip. It helps.
I like it.
You know?
It's nice. We also usually say what podcast we're on too. We didn't do that.
We did do that. Once Upon a Wine, as we usually do. It's a comedic podcast, so there's some leeway.
Drama.
We are now a Parsec Award
Yes,
nominated
it's crazy
podcast,
cool.
which
That's
is
super cool.
really
Yeah.
cool. Kind of unbelievable.
Yeah,
but
for real.
really cool.
I didn't even know there were awards for. I mean, I'm new to the podcast zone, so
Yeah, yeah,
great.
it's been great actually. We started. It was just Ace and I doing this a couple of years ago.
Okay.
The person who ran this podcast wanted to pass it on, and they had kind of heard about the web series we were
Yeah.
doing, and so asked if we wanted to take it over. And then Ace and I noticed that our best episodes were the ones where we had been drinking during it.
Somebody comes
So
out.
we changed it to Once Upon a Wine
It's a
and
very-
invited some more of the
It's a
cast in,
smart move.
and it was wonderful.
I wonder if my favorite episodes to shoot would be the one where I'm drinking wine. Maybe I'll try that
Yeah,
on
you
set.
should.
This-
You should.
Every time I get drunk on set, I will say that's my favorite episode.
That
we
is my
should shoot
favorite.
that one.
There you go.
Everybody want to have some wine next week?
Bring
So,
it.
when you shoot the season, how does that work as an actor? Do they contract you for a few episodes? Or-
Different contracts for different people. So some people are contracted for the season.
Mhm.
Some people are only contracted for a guaranteed amount of episodes. Some people are guaranteed no episodes and are just as they're available and as the show requests them. So, but you know, this is one of those shows that truthfully, I think almost all of us, if not all of us, make ourselves available whenever we can. It's an interesting project to be a part of. Like, I don't think it's lost on us that it's a pretty special thing to be a part of. So I think anytime they ask, do you want to continue to be a part of this story, I think it's an honor when they give us anything to do and contribute. So I think we make ourselves available as best we can.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, it seems like every time I get to meet some of the cast or talk to any of you guys, just everyone seems very appreciative.
Yeah.
'Cause I've certainly had conversations with people that are on, especially once you get into multiple seasons of a show. There is some burnout or non-gratitude that starts to come out. I don't get that sense.
No,
it's you guys seem just like
The
enjoy.
mentality of people, but
I think part of the fun is that all of us grew up with these characters already, so our chance to get to represent them in this to this next generation, I don't think it's lost on anybody, and it's a pretty cool thing, and we've become more like a family than a bunch of co-workers. So there's a lot of us that we hang out on weekends and evenings. Like, you don't have to hang out with your co-workers all the time.
Right,
We choose to,
Yeah.
Like, some of these are
So
some
you're
of
all
my
artists.
best friends. Like, they're not just amazing actors; these are amazing people. So I think it's cool to be a part of that.
Yeah. So tell me about, because I know you also teach auditions.
I do, yeah.
So tell me about, we'll talk about that, but I also
Sure.
want to hear about your original audition for Once Upon a Time.
I wasn't included in the first original breakdowns. I mean, and nobody knows who a lot of us are. There's, as you know, there's tens of thousands, if not hundreds of thousands of actors all wanting every role that's ever been written. So when they got around to inviting me to the audition, it was around the 5th or 6th round, whatever it was. It was late in the game, and they'd found most of the dwarfs, but they hadn't found Happy. And I just found out my wife and I got pregnant, and they gave me sides that read Grumpy, and then the note said, just read these, but do it happily. So,
Nice.
That's amazing.
so what everybody doesn't know is that, well, this is a trade secret here, so I'm letting everybody in on a big inside scoop.
Uh-oh. Heard it here.
In Vancouver, you have to audition a certain number of actors if you want to shoot the show there. And but what we all know as Vancouver actors is sometimes you audition a role and you've already cast an American in the role, and it's just sort of
It's protocol.
it's protocol.
Yeah.
Sometimes it doubles as a pre-screen for them to get to see you for another role, but it's really tough when they've already cast the role. So when they did this felt like one of those roles that they've already cast this with an American. I didn't want to go. I was like, you know what? I just got my wife pregnant. I don't want to.
That happens too.
Yeah, you know what I mean? It was. So I didn't want to. I was like, I've got so many other things on my mind. Like, I don't want to do one of these auditions where it's a fake audition. I want to just do real auditions right now because I'd rather be with my pregnant wife. And then my assistant at the time talked me into it and told me that I was being a bit of a douchebag. So she said, you need to go because you're not as cool as you think you are. And then I said, you are correct, my lady. You are correct indeed. She's great. She actually has a big career herself. She's this fantastic actor who's on every show in the world now.
Nice.
What's her name?
Her name's Siobhan Williams. Yeah, so she's one of the sweetest, most talented people I know. And anyways, she told me I gotta go. So I went in, and the executive producer, when I first walked in, said, so are you happy? And I said, I got my wife pregnant a few minutes ago. I dare you to prove otherwise. And then the whole room had a big laugh, and it was kind of like one of those George Costanza moments where I was like, holy cow, I think I just booked this without actually saying a word. And I wanted so badly to be like, that's my time, I'm out, thank you for your time. Consider that the audition, we will talk to you on set, see you later.
Yes.
But we stuck around anyways, we did the audition, we had a lot of fun. It's interesting though, as an actor, when you loosen the room up and everybody just becomes human beings and you get rid of that first 30 seconds of speed dating and you're not trying to figure out and judge each other. We had a lovely time. Casting directors are so nice. These are some of my favorite casting directors in Vancouver. They're really nice people.
Was Veronica, was she?
No, this was.
I'm sorry, I have a friend named
Collins,
Veronica.
This
Collins,
This is Jennifer Page and Corinne.
Oh, right.
Yeah, so they do the Corinne Clark and Jennifer Page. So they do the Vancouver casting, and I believe it was Steve Perlman was in the room, and Eventually we brought in a fellow by the name of Mark Milo who directed the pilot episode, and then he went on to do Game of Thrones, which is always super cool that we got to work with him because I'm a huge Throner.
Oh yeah.
And,
Ditto.
And it's pretty cool too because we had to do all these. Sorry, I'm rambling.
No.
We did all these green screen chemistry tests for the network. So
With the other dwarves?
with the
Or-
other dwarves,
That's
everybody
so
but Grumpy.
really?
So all 6 of us, and some of us know each other. Like
Yeah.
it's interesting because in Vancouver, like it's very rare that any show that shoots in Vancouver is like, you know what we need? 6 guys who are all like 5'3", 5'5", like all in the same episode or same show. Like nobody ever does that. So
Yeah.
we know each other because we've been competing for
You compete
decades.
for the
Yeah,
roles.
So
right.
for us all to have a
great.
chance to actually get to work together was
That's
awesome.
great,
Like
yeah.
Gabe Kuth, who plays Sneezy,
Yeah.
he's been one of my best friends for decades.
Oh, cool.
We've done
That's
countless cartoon series together. We've done all these shows, but we've never done live action together because you either get Michael Coleman small or Gabe Kuth small. You would never put 2 smalls in the same show. But we did this show and we were all like, I'm one of the tallest at 5'5", and then Mark, the director, he was like 9'11" or something ridiculous.
Oh,
so it looked like Gandalf and
He's
the
an actual
Hobbits.
Game of Thrones
Yeah,
character.
he really
Wow,
is. So,
wow.
so yeah, no, it was pretty cool. So we actually did all these weird sort of random
Yeah.
theater school improv games, and I still flash back. It's one of my
fun.
favorite auditions ever because although you didn't have the gig yet, you were also, holy cow, all we got to do is just make the
Yeah.
role what it is.
Yeah.
And I just remember it's when your character's name is also your emotion, and you just got to embody that the whole time. And I was just happy
Yeah.
to be working with Gabe. I was happy to be working with Mark. I was happy for a lot of reasons, and then I just kept being happy,
Yeah.
and then legally I became happy. So,
That's
awesome.
so cool. And then, I mean, did you have lines in the pilot?
no, I didn't.
Yeah.
I like to think that I wowed them over years, so and I like to think that every episode's another audition for them to say, oh, maybe we give him a little bit more
Yeah,
to do
because
next
I
time.
mean,
for sure.
I've noticed that that they have like there are like a couple of dwarves that they sort
Yeah.
of highlight a bit more so.
Grumpy's our leader. Grumpy's our
Sure,
definitive
right,
leader, and Lee Ehrenberg
Both of you
is.
were out
oh,
here.
we
Hold
are.
on, let me
Thank
refill.
You.
We haven't
Thank
said
you.
Kanya.
That's-
There,
Sorry,
you did.
had
to.
All right, catch up.
let's see,
I'm the
let's-
slow
let's-
one. I'm sorry. I'm like tortoise style over here.
All right,
All
cheers,
right.
cheers,
cheers,
cheers. Lee Ehrenberg is one of the sweetest human beings on the planet. I love him. He's one of my best friends. He is so incredibly talented and so incredibly cool. So it's neat. Like I said, it's cool being part of an ensemble. Like, you know, as actors, there's no small parts, only small players. It's a fun thing for us to say,
Yeah.
but it's also easy for us to be like, but at the same time, that's kind of bullshit. I want my lines.
Yeah. Yeah.
But
Absolutely.
but in-
Deserve the lines. Come
yeah,
on.
but at the same time, in this show, it's not the case. Like, it's, you know, like Colin O'Donoghue, who plays Hook, has become one of my dearest friends, and you know, I love what he does on the show. So it's like, if somebody came up to me and said, "Hey, do you want more lines?" and I'm like, "Well, not if it's at the expense of something Colin's going to do, because he's brilliant. So don't take anything away from Colin to give me something to do, and don't take away from Lee, or don't take away Lana. Lana's brilliant. One of my favorite things ever is, you know, your parents are always supposed to love you unconditionally, blah blah blah. My mom called me after the first episode, and she was like, "This is a great show that you're on." I'm like, "Hey, it's not my first show I've been on. It's the first thing you've ever
Right.
watched. Like,
Aw.
catch up, lady." She's like, "No, but this one's really good." And I'm like, "I was on like Supernatural, Stargate." She's like, "Yeah, but this is great." I'm like, "Yeah, this shows are pretty good too, Mom." And then she's like, "You know who's my favorite actor?" And I was like, waiting for it. And she's like, "Lana Parrilla." And I was like, "You know, Mom, I'm actually on the show." She's like, "Oh, no, you're like my second favorite actor
Oh
by
my
far.
goodness.
Like,
Oh
you were
my
definitely my
God.
second favorite." I'm like, as my mom, you're not really allowed to say that. That's a little offside. But I don't blame her. Lana's brilliant.
That's so
Oh,
funny.
man.
My mom used to get upset when I would do any kind of part that had an accent or a dialect. Like because she just, you know, she
Your mom's
just,
funny.
you know, her and her
I
white
love her.
zen. She just is like, I don't understand what you're saying. Like, I don't,
Yeah,
you know.
yeah.
So my mom is a hardcore, like, rom-com, like, not even comedy, like, romantic drama. Like, that's,
Right.
like, her only genre.
Sure,
So,
sure.
and, you know, I write, like, fantasy, comedy, you know, horror, and every time she's just like, well, you know, I get where you're going with.
You have her down a T when
That's
you do it. That's
right.
what it sounds like.
Yeah,
funny.
She's so sweet.
she tries. She tries real hard. She's like, I didn't follow the plot, but
That's cute.
you know,
That's sweet.
yeah.
That's sweet.
So we have the same. mother.
That's funny. That's when we're talking about family. So I'll go back to my wife because I
Yeah.
should clarify. So my wife reads for me whenever I prep an audition.
Oh boy.
But the last time I let her be the final person that reads with me, without me then going quickly over to my acting school and saying, okay, I need one of the coaches to work this with me,
Yeah.
because I've only ran this with my wife. We did this scene where I went back and forth, and it was like this really intense drama, and I'm like, I can't remember exactly what it was, but it's like this heated battle between this guy and this girl, and I'm like, do you think you can handle this? Do you think you can handle this? And it's this intense thing, and somebody's gonna get killed, and then and she's supposed to say, yeah, piece of cake. But so we go back and forth, and every time we do it, I'm like, look, do you think you can handle this? And she's like, yes. Piece of cake?
Oh
And I'm like, why are you offering me pastry in the middle of the scene? That's the most random interpretation of text ever. Like,
Dang.
even Christopher Walken's like, that's just a bad read. And it's like, so,
Oh man.
yeah, so, I love her,
funny.
but like, that's not her, text analysis is not her
It's not her
strength.
thing.
Ace and I have a rule: we don't read
Read
each other.
together?
Yeah, no.
It's a good rule, it's a good
Pilot
rule.
season, we kind of
Yeah,
we
get
had to
people.
work out something.
The teachers that coach at my school like to coach with me because they like to, because I'm sort of the principal, I guess, of the whole thing, so they like to correct me on my behaviors and stuff. So
So
it's
I'd love to hear more about
Yeah.
your school and what you're doing, because I mean, I've met people that have been coached by you. And,
yeah, so yeah, I've been really lucky. I've coached a bunch of the actors on the 100. I've coached actors in Supernatural, The Man in the High Castle. So I work like it's like I'm known to different people as different things. So like in Once Upon a Time, I'm just this short little guy that says the one-liners, but I also write. I own this post-secondary institute where we do like acting and video games and animation. So.
I've seen you sing at the con.
Yes.
Sing,
the
yeah,
concert.
cheers.
Cheers.
Oh, con, cheers.
Cheers.
Oh,
Okay.
con. That's
Real-
2
real-
sips because I
All
tried
right.
it. Mm.
The sun makes it more.
It's nice. I like
Yeah.
it. It's not too much.
I don't think it's supposed to be that, but
The sun? Sure.
My favorite
I'm
thing
actually
about
low.
wine, it makes me feel more attractive. I like that about
It's like debonair.
Yeah.
Very nice.
it's magical.
It is
Yeah.
magical.
It's
It's
magical.
magic
gonna-
in me.
I know I
Cheers.
wanted to do
Yeah.
white wine. You,
Well, it's
you
good for
mentioned you
heat.
preferred white, but I was
But you also
where am I
heard-
going to refrigerate this
No,
thing?
for
and-
sure.
Yeah.
No, that was
yeah, that's good
well
point.
played.
Oh.
Very well.
And
Very
I
well
was
played.
looking for wine that maybe was
That was
named like
themed.
bliss or joy or
Yeah,
good
yeah,
times.
yeah.
Other than
There's
Once
none
Upon
of
a
that.
Vine.
There's like bitch and then like
And there is a wine that I've never been able to find called Once Upon a Vine.
oh
Oh,
yeah.
they have it here actually. I just
Yeah.
saw it.
Oh, well, I was
Like,
looking for
giveaway,
that
but
too, and
we,
they didn't have it at.
It's actually funny things from Sonoma, where I'm from.
Is it really?
And I'm trying to get contact with them for sponsorship or something.
Oh, really?
That would
Yeah,
be really
yeah.
nice. But we've had a couple.
Throw my name in there if it helps, and then tell
Yeah,
them
sure.
I'll come down. I'll come down and
Sweet.
sign
Sure.
some bottles.
Oh,
That'd be
perfect.
great.
Yeah, that'd be wonderful.
And we
Thank
can
you.
like create like a special bottle called the Happy Juice Reserve.
That'd be amazing.
Happy
Yes.
juice.
Okay,
I
but
love
yeah,
it.
we it's really good. They have different options and they're really creative with the theme of it. So yeah.
Sonoma, that's good. I
Sonoma,
never know where
yeah.
it's from. I've been trying to find it. Nobody ever.
Well, it's weird. It's not actually a vineyard. I thought it was a vineyard. It should be a vineyard.
Yeah.
But it's actually the vineyard itself. Like they get from different grapes from around the
Interesting.
area and
Yeah,
Napa
yeah.
and Sonoma, and then they bottle it and they put the theme on it.
Interesting, clever.
Yeah.
What's your drink of choice? Do you have
Yeah, I drink a lot of single malt Scotch. Well, that makes me sound like an alcoholic. No, I'm not.
What do you like?
I do drink a lot of single malt Scotch. I love single malt Scotch. That's, one of the things I love. Like, I love that cask so much, and there's so many things
Aw.
about them that are so great. But the one thing that many of us do know how to drink, and that's a very high quality bottle of single malt Scotch. We've had some good times.
Well,
so.
you've got quite the international cast too, so
Yeah.
We do.
Oh yeah.
it's a little bit more of a. It's not so much. The problem is way more. Like you have to go. There's like here's the line you cross, and it's an issue,
right.
questionable in America.
Yes.
Yeah.
You go across the pond, and it's
Yeah.
Part of life.
the line. There's not really even a line.
There's
It's
no
just
line,
kinda
no.
like,
Well, it's the same with
oh,
Canada. Like
gave
in
up.
Canada, we drink a little earlier. Even the breast milk is on tap in Canada. Like, we drink a little early where I come from.
Man.
So,
I mean, always be responsible and safe, of course.
Of course.
But enjoy
but that's
life.
enjoy life. So, but yeah, no, and this was fun about this. One of the things we do at this con. Cheers.
Oh, I'm out. Oh, thank you.
How's the head?
I just.
One of the
Yeah.
one of the
Thank you.
things we do. Cheers.
I
Cheers.
just have to do that because I'm used to that.
Cheers.
Switch the bottle at some point.
Yeah,
As
right.
we play this like it's Lee's living room on Saturday night.
Oh,
But that's
cool.
something we do. Like, my living room has hosted many once upon a let's have a couple of wobbly pops and play guitar.
Jam sessions.
Yeah,
Nice.
so like if anybody ever gets the chance to hear Colin O'Donoghue play guitar and sing,
Oh,
he
should
is
do
a
something.
world-class rock star. If you ever hear him sing and play, it will melt you. One of the best moments we had was a couple of years ago, probably 2 years ago. We were all at a Canadian Legion, and Colin took over the karaoke mic.
Oh,
And it was
fun.
just, but it would have been less impressive if Michael Jackson or Prince had taken over
Wow.
the mic. Like he was
Wow.
just, the whole room was just mesmerized by his golden voice.
I have to say, I saw a video on social media of him singing with his band,
Yeah.
and I clicked on it, and I was shocked. Like he was
didn't
so
see this.
good. Like I was like, how is this? The
Yeah.
voice kind of almost didn't match. a
Oh,
little
and
bit
everything.
from-
Even his
Yeah.
wife is one of my favorite people in the world. She can sing like an amazing rock star.
Wow.
And Sean McGuire, he was
Yeah,
a
we saw him at
legit,
Live Farm,
a legit
Ultimate
rock
Coleman.
star. He's amazing. And Mikey Raymond James, who played Balefire,
Mm-hmm.
one of the most lovely human beings on the planet. He is fantastic. If you want a real once upon a time experience, we're usually a couple scotches deep.
Nice.
A couple has had guitars, and we're playing the sexiest version of the theme to the Fresh Prince of Bel-Air
That is amazing.
Oh
that
my
anybody's
God.
ever heard. When the Once Upon a House Party hits the Fresh Prince of Bel-Air, it's game on.
That is
That's
game
It's
on.
game on.
Wow, rock and roll.
And we have
Oh
a
my
good
God.
time with that. No, they're lovely people. And like Rebecca Mader, she's got a voice that would just melt you. She's just, everybody's so
We're
great.
so talented. I
Bev-
mean,
Bev
everyone's
Elliott,
talking
I'm-
about,
I mean, is there
you
is there
too?
any?
You sing?
Yeah. I mean, obviously the musical episode's been brought up many times. Is that
We all
something
want to,
that-
yeah. Josh sings. Josh and Ginny,
I
Charming
heard
and
they
Snow.
actually. I went
Oh,
very
cool. I didn't
first
know that.
season. I went
Oh.
to a SAG panel with Josh and
That's
Ginny,
great, yeah.
and it was her birthday, and he sang.
Yeah, Josh is
Yeah.
Wow.
he's just such a great dude. And then Ginny is just magic. So the two of them sing, and Bev Elliott, she's
Oh,
an
yeah.
old school rock and roll, sang in bars. Her and I write a song every year for our award show up in Canada. Like I
Oh,
help
She
her
seems
with the
like
lyrics.
she'd be fun to drink with.
Yeah.
Yeah, Bev is just
Yeah.
awesome. Actually, as soon as I finish drinking wine here, she's gonna be disappointed that if I'm too drunk, because we're supposed to have
that's
a
amazing.
sound check together, which
Oh,
is
Yeah, I
Right.
know. It's
which is code for us trying to remember all the words.
Yeah. So one of the things, some of the people who are listening, who haven't been to the cons
Con.
yet,
Cheers.
Cheers.
Hi.
Hey.
which I think is really cool and different that you guys do, is this cabaret show
Yeah,
on Saturday nights at like 10 o'clock at night.
10 o'clock
So
at night.
smart.
And it's really bizarre and quirky and interesting, and
And we're weird,
unpredictable,
like, we're
and
weird
it's-
about it.
It's very weird. I love it because it doesn't feel like it's super rehearsed.
Right.
In a
it's
good way.
live.
In a good way.
And-
It's raw, but everybody's talented. Samurai Fish is the band, and those guys are just legit rock stars who are so loving and inviting. Like,
Cool.
you feel like I told my wife, like, I did the first show with them in Vancouver, and I was on stage for about 18 seconds. They were like, "Holy cow! I feel like this is my band, and we've been
Yeah.
on tour for 20 years."
You
Like,
guys
I
are
feel like-
united, you know?
Yeah.
like,
and
it's
they've
a
got my
unit.
back
feel the
on
camaraderie.
everything, and they're so tight, and they're fantastic.
That's awesome.
And then Lee on the harmonica,
Oh,
Beverly with
yeah.
the singing.
Yeah. Are you performing tonight?
Tonight I'm performing.
Cool.
Oh,
Yeah.
mystery. I love
Yeah,
it.
yeah.
Yeah,
Is
yeah.
this airing before?
This is gonna come after tonight.
Oh,
Yeah,
then
so you
what
can
I
sing.
sang was I sang some music from Hootie and the Blowfish.
Yes, that's
Nice.
amazing.
But I'm doing a
And it was
mashup.
so good.
Amazing.
I
Such a
killed it.
kick-ass
And I didn't play
performance.
any wrong chords at all. And then I
Are you
also
playing
said
too?
all the words. Yeah, I'm gonna
Oh,
I'm gonna
sweet.
I'm gonna do an acoustic set where I do this. I'm gonna do a mashup because I'm a big Glee fan. So I'm gonna do
cool.
a mashup of Hootie and the Blowfish and the Beatles, and then
Oh,
it's like
love
Let
it.
Her Cry and Let It Be, this sort of hybrid.
Oh, nice.
And then I'm gonna do a little Johnny Cash as
Yes.
a love out to my other outlaw buddy Sean McGuire.
Oh, cool.
And then I'm doing a little Culture Club, Boy George and Culture Club, little Karma Chameleon.
Oh my god.
And then we're doing about, I don't know, 20 other songs together. I got about 5 or 6 that I'm doing in there. So
Yeah.
So what? Because you guys obviously have season 6 coming up here.
yeah.
Is there any kind of hint or anything that you can share
Only
with us
what,
about season
to be
6?
honest with you, in all honesty, I know what everybody else knows at this point in the
Yeah.
season. So at this point, when we all watched how it ended last year, I was like, oh, So that's where it's going. In a great way.
Right.
I think, you know what, it's been an honor to be a part of this thing, and I will be of service as long as Adam and Eddie and the writers will have me. And but usually the dwarfs come in and we do this episode 22, 23 sort of thing where we're all at the diner. We're like, whew, can't believe we dodged another one.
Celebrate a lot.
Yeah, we like,
Yeah.
you know, Granny's got
Granny's
all
got
that.
great
She's
place.
got
Got a good
great prices,
business
great
going.
prices on
Yeah.
single malt scotch.
Yeah.
So, but no, and then so I watched episode 23. I guess it was like everybody else
Yeah.
to
Right.
say,
What happened?
I wonder what goes on next year.
Yeah.
And I was
Yeah.
like, kind of felt like they opened up the box and anything can happen.
Right.
So,
Yeah.
you know,
Well,
I don't know.
There's books out there now, just fairy tales.
Yeah.
Do you have a favorite like season or storyline?
It's weird. I'm like one of these weird people that likes to see it as one story. Like I see like Star Wars is. Well, I see the 6 films because I pretend episode 1 never happened, but I pretend that's one story.
Yeah.
So with Once Upon a Time, they're just chapters in one big story, and I think it's a beast that they've got because it's got so many iconic characters, and they've done such a wonderful job of twisting and spinning and sewing the plots together. I think it's pretty cool, and it's just one of those ones that it's like can't wait to see where it goes. And truthfully, if I'll watch this show whether I'm on it or not. I think they do a neat job. I think they do an incredible job, and I love the cast. I love the writers. So I got no idea where the heck it's going. I just hope that when they say everybody wants their happy ending, that means at the end I'm with the really hot one. But that's probably not the.
Ruby and Happy.
Yeah,
That's
Ruby.
right, yeah.
Exactly.
I kind of feel like maybe it's the evil queen. Like she keeps
Yeah,
talking
there you
about
go.
wanting her happy ending.
Yeah.
Oh, there you go. That's
a good
right.
connection.
That's very true.
So it's
that
like,
works.
I don't know why everybody
They
can't
should just
see.
have a moment where she's talking about it and they cut to you like looking up like, huh?
Just smiling.
And I just do one of these, and I'm like,
Single
I'm still
mom.
here, baby.
That would be amazing.
That's great.
But I gotta feel like if I did, the very next thing that has to happen is she has to shoot a fireball and knock my head off.
Exactly.
For being cheeky and disrespectful
I would
to the evil queen.
At least see that in the scoop.
Yeah.
So
The
we
rock
have a
opera.
segment we do on this podcast for every new guest, and it's called 5 Questions.
Okay.
It relates to Once Upon a Time in Disney, kind of,
All right.
sort of.
It's
There's
fun.
a fun music cue that Kevin will put in right now.
Sweet.
Okay.
Nailed it, Kevin.
Yeah. Nice.
All right, and you just rapid fire, like first thought, best thought. Okay.
Okay.
Okay. All right.
Got it.
All right. If you weren't playing Happy, which other dwarf would you be?
Wouldn't be another dwarf. This is the only dwarf I want to be forever and all time.
Good
Okay.
answer.
Follow-up question. We'll call it 1B. Which other character in Storybook would you be then?
Wouldn't want to be another character.
Oh, there
Okay,
we go. Okay,
nice.
solid.
I
like
like
it.
everything that everybody else does, and it would be disrespectful to the amazingness they brought to each and every role. Even David Anders. Just kidding.
Oh man,
That's great.
Okay, are you team good or team evil?
I am team whatever Snow White needs me to be.
There you go.
Oh,
There
So
you
if
go.
she needs me to dress in all black, I'll dress in all black. You want me to wear something fun? Let's get festive. I'm whatever Snow tells me to be.
That's
And
great.
how much single malt scotch that you had that day?
There's a good chance. There's very few scenes where Happy doesn't have a glass in his hand. So, I mean, Happy drinks
the mugs.
responsibly, but
Yes.
Happy's not afraid to have a pint.
Exactly. All right, number 3. What Disney song is the theme of your life?
Of my life. Oh my
That's a
gosh.
That's a good question.
That's a
I forgot that.
fantastic one.
U.S.
Right?
Michael.
Oh my gosh, and I know you want me to go rapid fire, but I feel like there's
Yeah,
too
I
much.
know. It's hard, right?
If
Wait
you just
on it.
keep talking out loud and
Yeah.
saying things, maybe your brain will start to think.
I
then-
know, and what's happening is my brain's getting twisted, so supercalifragilisticexpialidocious
Yes, that
is
works.
It's
stuck.
the wine.
It's this deadly
Yeah,
thing.
because-
7
Nearing at the
deadly
bottom.
wine.
All right, I'll just
Actually, I'll tell
jump
you.
the gun.
Here's something. Here's a little known
Thank you.
secret that I do that's really super dorky, and it's Disney. When I drive to an audition, I actually crank I Just Can't Wait to Be King.
Oh, nice.
And I sing that
I
at
can
the top
totally
of my
see
line
that.
Absolutely.
as a confidence build. So when
Yeah.
I'm driving in my car to an audition, Happy sings I Just Can't Wait to Be King, because then I'm kind of like, this is my destiny to book this role. I was meant
Right.
to be the Simba of this project.
That is
I will eventually
amazing.
grow to rule this universe.
No,
That's
Savannah.
amazing.
Yeah, it's so dorky.
That's great. No,
but
that's
that's
great.
that's probably the truth. Although every Disney, there's so many great Disney
There's so
songs.
many, yeah.
There's just
There's
so
so
many.
many.
It's so hard to pick.
Okay, so we got 2
That's
choices I think
fantastic.
work well.
Yeah.
Okay, I think this is question 4. Sometimes that's why the music theme is 5 or so questions, because sometimes
and
the
Kevin,
wine
you're
hits
killing
and
it
you
with
get
the
lost.
music. If the
Yeah.
music's still
Yeah,
playing,
come on, Kevin. Pick
come
it
on,
up.
Kevin.
Like
Hit me with a cool sting here.
All right, number 4. Which dwarf would you sacrifice in order to enact the dark curse?
Oh, like so many. No, I'm just kidding. Like our bunks are way too close quarters. We're just such a symbiotic.
All right,
beast.
who would Happy sacrifice?
Whistle while you work.
Happy's having like a really terrible day.
It's tough to say because I got to be honest with you. Like I like that Dopey never speaks up because it
Yes.
usually means like when we all have to say who doesn't want to do this, he's the last to say I don't want to do it, so he gets turned into a tree.
Right.
So that's always kind of you, Dopey.
Self-sacrifice.
Yeah, and I love maybe bashful. Only because he's always
Bashful.
hiding around the corner.
Yeah,
and it's
I
like,
mean,
what are you hiding from? Just open up, be yourself.
I know.
Be yourself.
Just dragging everyone down.
Yeah,
All right, bashful.
kidding. Love you,
Cut.
bashful.
Okay, last question. Last
Okay.
question. Which fairy tale or literary character would you like to
Luke
most?
Skywalker.
Okay.
I didn't even finish it.
Don't even finish the sentence.
Yeah?
The answer is Luke Skywalker, Luke Skywalker, Luke Skywalker.
Wow. So if
He
you
is
got
the-
a script and it actually said Star Wars is coming to once, you
Star
would
Wars
be-
is coming to once, and we're gonna do this weird mashup where
Musical.
Happy is like the Tatooine, like he's like all of a
Sorry.
sudden like Obi-Wan Kenobi comes and gives you a lightsaber. It's like this was your father's, and I'm like my father was a chicken, but this is I assume I don't know. We all came from eggs. I actually
That's
don't
right.
know. That's not a spoiler.
Okay.
So I don't know. I just know we
Happy
came from eggs. But that would be the coolest.
The chicken or the egg conversation
But I mean,
has been solved.
I
Yeah,
feel like we
exactly.
should cut that
Thanks.
only because I'm afraid now they can't do it because now it's a spoiler, and it's not a spoiler. But pretend I never said that. 'Cause
Okay.
I still want,
Never-
in the
this
back
was
of my
never
head,
said.
I like the fact that Adam
Cue
and
the
Eddie
music,
can always
Kevin.
be like,
Cue the music.
yeah, that's gonna be Jedi happy.
Jedi
That's
happy.
cool. Jedi happy.
It's amazing. That would be.
That
do
would
you
work.
think they would? Well, I don't want to say that. Maybe do you think they would have the dwarves be in Wookiee? Okay. I'm
My worry is that we might go Ewok-y.
That's what I meant. That's what I
Yeah,
meant.
yeah,
Or
yeah,
like,
yeah.
yeah.
Choo-choo-y thing.
Yeah. Yes, yes. So, but then again, like if you meet
They kick ass though.
the thing is about the dwarfs is none of us know that we're like 5 foot whatever. We all pretty sure we're 6'1". Like if you ever
course.
talk to any one of us, we're like,
Yeah.
I'm 6'1". Like we're all the same height.
Yeah.
Like you little ladies clearly look up to my masculine
Looking
whatever
up.
the heck it is. Yeah, and it's so not true. But in our heads we're giants.
Exactly.
Giants in the sky.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah. Well, what's next for you? What's coming up?
Lots of things actually. So
Fantastic.
I've got a top secret Stephen King project I'm doing next year.
That's awesome.
And then I wrote a feature film that I am co-directing this summer, and it's got a bunch of my friends in it that were on like Battlestar Galactica, Stargate, Supernatural,
sweet.
a whole bunch of
Nice.
like actors from different shows that we all grew up together. And we did this ensemble comedic piece that we're shooting this August, which is cool.
That's cool.
I'm shooting season 2 of a series called Hipsterverse, where I play the lead and get to write in it. And then I have a couple other features that are in stages of development. So I'm working a lot as a writer. I'm working a lot as an actor, and then trying to find time to be a dad and a husband
Yeah, of
and
course,
an
yeah.
acting coach and all the other fun things. So I mean,
What would be kind of your sort of long term, or what, if you had your curmudgeons, what would be? Would you see yourself more in the content creating world, or just keep it all in the mix?
my vision has never shifted. So I am right on track, arguably ahead of schedule from what I've always wanted since I was 0. All I
From
ever
the
want to do is tell stories, and I want to work with the people I respect and be respected by the people I respect, and just tell stories with them for all my days. I don't care if
awesome. That's
I don't care if I'm making sandwiches or writing or directing or acting. I just want to do it. I will always make sure that I'm improving my own craft in every respect, and I'm so thrilled to sit at the table with some of these incredible. Like I was just before here, I was sitting up there with like Lana and Bex and Sean and Rafs the Barge, and I'm just sitting here humbled by who I get to consider my peer group.
Yeah.
They're just better human beings than they are actors, and their acting skills are,
Phenomenal.
yeah, it's
Yeah.
beyond words. So,
Yeah.
so I feel like I'm doing it. Like what I want to do, I want to write and I'm a big fan of, like, when I write, I start with a thematic premise or a central question. I like to challenge the universe. I like to ask it a question or make a statement and say, prove it or disprove it. So I love that part about storytelling, and I just want to do that with really talented people that make people think. I don't want to tell you what to think. I just want to encourage you to think.
Yeah.
It's a lost art form in our society now.
It is.
So now the wine's talking. Look at me being
No,
philosophical.
I love it. No,
Yeah,
it
it
tends
is.
to get a little bit more like
But
that
that's
towards the end of this podcast.
Cultural of wine and friendship
really is.
Exactly.
and art.
Wine makes you smarter. That's why
It's
kids should be
true.
drinking in school. I'm kidding. I'm totally kidding. You gotta cut that. Kevin, cover that with music.
Kevin, put music there.
Like you were saying, just sure, yeah. This is
Con.
good for the
Con.
the
There we
cold that I'm fighting. Con. Three of
It
them.
helps. It helps.
Just wakes everything up on
It
the way
does.
down.
That's space in the back.
But I just wanted to say thank you so much for your support with us, and we're here for our screening for on the 5th, and
Tomorrow.
it's benefiting tomorrow. It's already happened.
Yeah,
It
we
was
have more time to watch
wonderful.
it. It's cool.
What an awesome crowd we had.
Absolutely.
But it's for the Leukemia and Lymphoma Society, which is a cause that's I'm personally I'm a big fan of this particular cancer research, just because I know what they're doing, and I have a friend that's been labeled cured by their work. And then one of our castmates, and who I've known since college,
Who's
who's
she
raised.
play?
I'm sorry.
Who does she play?
She plays Sleepy.
Sleepy.
And she raised I can say it now, we raised $50,000 for her
We
to name
made the goal.
a grant after her parents, who, when we were in college, they passed away within 21 hours of each other, and one from cancer and the other had a major stroke. And so just to have your help in retweeting everything, and just doing this podcast, and just all the support. I mean, we've known you for a few months now, and it's just great to have that camaraderie,
No question.
and we're just so grateful for you being here, and
Absolutely
for
grateful.
all your time with this as well.
Well, we're all fellow artists, and I feel like we're all a part of the same community, and for whatever reason, we all get a lot of eyes on us at different moments in time, and I think it's our responsibility to redirect those eyes to things that make the world better, and again, in the purest, intent on what we do, and that's, as artists, we educate and entertain.
Amen.
We get a chance to educate, we do so. We get a chance to actually do more than educate and make a physical difference. That's an honor that supersedes anything else we do. So it's an honor to be a part of that.
Cheers!
Cheers
all
to that.
that.
Yes,
Cheers.
thank
Helping
you.
each other. We're all just artists,
Thank you.
drinking and
Up
doing
there.
crazy shit. So,
Absolutely.
Yeah, it's the best of both worlds. You do what you love and make a difference. That's the whole point.
That's exactly it.
That's what it should be.
yeah. So, Michael, how can people stay in touch with you? What's your social media?
I am at Michael Coleman on Twitter. Or people can find me. I own a school called School Creative. You can go to schoolcreative.com, all one word, and I plaster my face and my contact info all over there. But yeah, usually Twitter or the website are the two best places to get a hold of me. And I'm pretty accessible. So what's interesting is, because I own a school and I have an office there, I actually do get a lot of people from all over the world who just pop by.
That's awesome.
Which is okay. It's
Nice.
great, because it's when
Yeah.
I'm there, I'll often be at my office when I'm not on set, and I'll be writing or whatever it is, or so people will come by and take pictures or play with the axe or whatever.
Yeah.
Do you have one big piece of advice for anybody that's out there that's an actor?
I had a lot of advice.
Good.
One of the biggest pieces of advice I'd say is, you have to set your own value. If you don't set your value, somebody else will, and they will set you at
Great.
a lower value.
That's great.
So
Absolutely true.
you decide what you're worth,
Yeah.
and you make it non-negotiable with the universe that is your value. If you do so, you will be surprised at how many people will follow suit. That's, and then you can't just set the value in words. You have to set it with how you behave and how you treat yourself and your career. You cannot wait for somebody else to make it happen, every single person that you think got lucky didn't get lucky. They just worked harder than everybody else.
It's not a dwarf.
So it's hard work will always supersede talent, and if you work hard, talent will come. And those of us who work hard, we just get to be here and we get to do this. So there's no magic formula to your big break. There's no magic formula to a big break, because every big break is temporary, because we all reinvent ourselves 1,000 times in this career, in this lifetime. Those who work hard and build a career of trust and friendship and discipline, we get reinvited back to the show time and time again. So that was a really long-winded answer.
No, it's great.
No,
Thank you.
totally right.
Set your own value.
Yeah. Well, thank you again, Michael, for stopping by and chatting with us here
At
in
this
beautiful
con.
Morristown, New Jersey.
It really is,
Con,
yeah.
Jersey,
exactly.
Thank you.
Con.
And good luck this weekend, and good luck tonight
Thank
with the
you.
show.
Break
Yeah.
a leg.
Yes.
And
Not literally.
and when you're watching this, we've already seen the rock
The
opera.
rock opera tomorrow.
We
Yes.
have.
That was amazing.
Yes.
Thank you. Thank you for
He gave it. He gives
supporting.
it 2 thumbs
Two thumbs up.
It was so amazing.
All right. Bye, guys.
Bye, guys.